I see God working in my generation, generation that is following, even my children's generation. They really are looking for something authentic. And I think the question now, more than anything, is not so much, is there a God, or I'm wondering if God is out there. I think it's more now of which God is it. They often will tell me, well, I'm a person of faith. And I understand what they mean by that, but my question to them is always, well, what is your faith in? Who is your faith in?
Within the Hispanic community, those Spanish-speaking churches, we need to be careful about trying to fit our children and our grandchildren into a specific mold. That mold is saying you have to speak Spanish, you have to do this. Of course, every parent would love their child to know their own language or their home language. Of course, it's always a plus, but we live in a time and we live in a world where there's mixed marriages. Children are not going to a school that just is in Spanish, children are going to school that's in English. We live in America and the predominant language is going to be English. Our children, in order for them to succeed, need to know English. As a result, the friends that they have that are Anglo, that are black, or that are other races, they speak English. And since they hang out with them much more than maybe they do with their parents, that's the language that they're going to learn.
I think more and more what I'm seeing in my generation, the generations that follow, is this idea that I might take a little longer to fully trust, fully commit, if you will, but once I do, then it is going to be the real thing.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about the future. I see the numbers. I see our people, this English second, third, fourth generation Latino people. I see them as the giant that Napoleon talked about when he outlined with his pointed finger and his general stood by and he outlined his great nation and he said, hey, do not wake this giant. Let this giant sleep, because if you awaken this giant, it will shake the foundations of the world. In my opinion, I am convinced that that giant is the Latino English-speaking group. This demographic, what they can do for the kingdom, what they can do for the Lamb's Book of Life, what they can do not only for the state of Texas, but the country. I like to encourage churches to give to reach Texas. I think it's a golden opportunity for God has allowed to reach Latino churches, not only that speak in the Spanish dialect, but also first and second and third generation Latinos that speak in English.